Hello everyone, in today's video we'll be talking about the privilege escalation using the SID command with SUID bit set on. And the reason why I'm making this video is because there is not many resources online talking about how to do this with SUID bit set on. So I hope you find it interesting and useful, so let's get started. So I made intentionally this machine vulnerable by setting SUID bit on the SID command, which limp is found right away and it signals us that it's really great privilege escalation path. So the SID command is simply, you can think about it simply as a find and replace in every text editor we have nowadays, but it's just a command line tool. So for example, if I go ahead and create a file called example.txt, which is actually going to contain the word test, so echo test in the file, echo test in the file example.txt, we can get it out and see that indeed only contains test word. Now if we want to replace the test word with any arbitrary value, we can use SID with I flag. So SID I, and then we are using S, and then we are replacing test with beekeeper G, and then the target file is actually example.txt. Now nothing is being returned in response, but we can get out the example and we see the beekeeper indeed replaced test. Now the privilege escalation path here is possible because of SUID, and the definition of SUID that I found really useful is on the Red Hat's website. As we can see, the file with SUID always executes as the user who owns the file, regardless of the user passing the command, which means in this case we can go ahead and edit the files with the high privileges and permission to edit right now as a low privilege user beekeeper, but we can do so with SID command because of the SUID bit set. So the first file that comes to my mind is definitely the etc password. So if we get out the etc password, we see that currently for every user that is active on this machine, which is only beekeeper and root at this moment, we see that instead of displaying the passwords or the hashes of their passwords, because etc password is publicly available file, we have X. So we can go ahead and replace the X with SID command with some kind of arbitrary value that we want to set for their passwords, and we see that by using lsla command and etc password, this file is only modifiable by the root user, and this is completely fine because we are actually going to make use of this SUID bit set on the SID command. So first we need to generate the hash. We need to generate the hash value of the with open as a cell of the password we want to pass, because if we really quickly show the etc shadow file, makes more sense. Oh, sudo etc shadow. And then we see that here the beekeeper, for example, user is actually having this password value in the hash format with open as a cell. So we want to generate the same hash format so we can pass to the etc password. So we can clear out the screen. In the new tab we can use open as a cell psw command, and we can use password equals to b. Now this is the hash value we're getting, and we can pass to etc password. So I already typed this out, so you don't guys have to watch me typing this long syntax, but essentially we are using SID with I flag, and then we are replacing the X value for root user with the hash of the B password, and target file is etc password as we already talked about. So we can simply copy and paste this in the terminal, then get etc password, and we see that root's password from X definitely changed to the value generated by the open as a cell. So if we switch root and then we enter BEE, we are root account, we are root user. So we successfully escalate our privileges